We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred.
With Maxwell Silverhammer.
We are nothing sacred. With cruise control. We are nothing sacred.
Oh, yes, bitches. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yes.
Oh, wow, we did that right on time. Finally, played something on time,
dude. Wow, we're getting better after almost 8 years of this shit.
Fuck, longer than that if you can't count the other shit. But anyways, this is the Nothing Sacred Interview. I am Cruise Control.
I'm Maxwell Silverhammer, and we have a carcinogenic content creator, Smoking Lace, on with us. Smoking Lace, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Glad to be here.
Carcinogenic, is that your own term or is that Maxwell's term? Carcinogenic content creator.
I'm pretty sure he just came up with that on the fly.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I was practicing too because I was like, oh fuck, I was gonna say carcinogen. I kept saying cartoon creator, and I'm like, oh fuck, no, that's not right. Anyway, so Smoking Lace does smoking videos, basically. Now, what I wanted to ask you is, how did you zero in on such a mundane thing like smoking cigarettes?
Let's get so the smoking videos. Let's get a little bit more before we go into that.
Oh, okay, all right.
So, what do you mean by smoking videos? Let's just go from there. Let's go with the timeline of of how this got started, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, sure. It honestly started like 10 years ago. It would have been 2013. I don't even remember how I got started on the cigarette fetish. I think, like I also have it, and it's a lot easier and more fun to make videos of something that like also turns you on. But yeah, I was like doing other fetish stuff then. I mean, I was like a tickle model that was paying my bills for a long time. Like stepping on guys' nuts, things like that.
Really? Were these videos,
Yeah.
or what was this? Were you actually doing it for real?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You would step on their literally. That's okay.
Yeah, we got to back
Yeah.
up here.
Right, I know. Body crushing, it's like part of that where you like wear high heels and like step on guys, mostly like walk on their back and like crush their nuts. And
Damn.
I did
Okay.
a few. It was mostly just like for some guys like clips for sale, but then it pays really, really well. Like doing that kind of thing, filming for other people, you can get paid like $100 to $200 an hour. I was doing like tickle torture type stuff for like this really sadistic producer, and that paid like $300 an hour. So you're there for like half a day. That pays your rent in one day.
Yeah, fuck, why not?
So how do you? Who recruits the guy that's being tickled or getting his balls stepped on?
I think the guy that I
knows?
was doing it for was like also the producer, because he was also like, this is my fetish. I want to sell this fetish to the masses.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
So it's like a good, you like make money to do something you love, which is essentially what I do too.
See, that's interesting though, because
we've
people
talked
think,
about that.
People think that they don't have like, oh my god, I must have some really strange fetishes. But getting your balls stepped on, I mean, we're human beings. We have all sorts of different weird, quote unquote, weird shit that everything, even the most boring shit's weird. So it's like anybody out there who's listening who's worried about their fetishes or their kinks or whatever, just don't worry about it. You're not, if you're worried about somebody getting your balls stepped on, then you're thinking that's weird. Well, look at yourself and your fucking foot fetish or your smoking fetish or whatever the fuck fetish you have, and shut the fuck up, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're all batshit crazy humans. So just let people fucking have their own shit and do their own. Oh my god, that's so. Oh, why would you do that? Oh my god, like why would you have a smoking fetish? Oh, what are your fetish? Well, I like when guys blow loads in my face. Oh, well, that's great. So you mind the smoking fetish, but you don't mind getting a load blown on you. Okay. So, whatever the fuck it is, or whatever oh my god, well, oh my god, you don't like the foot fetish? You got a foot fetish? Yeah, that's great. Well, that's terrible. Oh well, I whatever the fuck you do, I eat shit for fun. Oh, But
Some people do.
well, that's what I'm saying. Copophilia is a thing. You know, two girls,
Yeah.
one cup. If that was real, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if it's real though, because everything else is real. So
That's true. That's true.
and if it wasn't real, someone did it after they saw that. They go, "Oh my god!" They actually fuck around and think it's chocolate. That's the whole thing. They don't tell anybody. Like, no one realizes that 2 girl 1 cup thing was chocolate. Man, then we saw people actually eating their own shit out of cups. Like what the fuck? Like, yeah. So
Right. Exactly.
I guess that's the first thing we should get out of here is that you do run an OnlyFans page, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And I bet you're an evil, terrible person, and you're taking advantage of people, and it's so terrible. Oh my god! How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
Fucking,
Like on a serious note, like when I got into doing this, because I've had like a bunch of different careers throughout my life, and it had been, like a really long time since I had been in like the fetish sphere. I promised myself that I was not going to prioritize profit over my morals, basically, and my values.
mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to put out anything that I'm not proud of. I'm going to
Right.
film high quality, as high quality as I have the technology for and the patience for. And I'm also not going to take advantage of anybody. Those were my 3 rules.
That's good. Good rules to live by. And
Well-
by the way, just so you all know, I am subscribed to her OnlyFans page, which we'll talk about in a little bit because you have an announcement as well. So, but we'll roll with that later.
Yeah, well, let's start. Let's just go from Maxwell's angle a little bit. I'll interview. So what decide? Because you at first were a little bit against this a little bit. You're like, I'm not really into this kind of shit. People doing this. What actually turned your mind around, and what got you into this and actually getting involved with Smoking Lace?
You know what, man? I'll be honest. Yeah, probably about a year or 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh man, I'm not paying for that. Fuck that. But then I'm looking at it, I'm like, look, I'm 48 years old. That the time for finding she's out there and all that other dumb shit, that's gone, man. So, I might as well pay, like Necro said, I'll pay to excite my dick, and that's what I do, and I enjoy it. And I've actually had Smoking Lace do some customs for me too, which are the folder is called Jackums, that's what I named the folder. So got
See,
4.
here's the thing though, like even if you find the perfect person, the quote unquote perfect person for you, there's a very good chance you may not find somebody, especially in this day and age, who does have this kind of specific thing to get your rocks off, right? And if you both know what's going on, you both understand that you're adults and you're actually doing something that's condoning as adults, and then what the fuck's the problem? Maybe you even do have a girlfriend and she just doesn't I'm not saying that. Well, that's an interesting question. But my point is that there's a lot of stigma with it, and I think I understand why. And I think that's why I'll let you talk about this smoking, or I'll just call you Lace. Smoking is
Yeah, that's
call you
right.
Lace. Is you said you have ethics and morals, because there are a lot of people, and I think this is where the OnlyFans gets a bad rap, is that they prey upon loneliness. They prey upon people and actually make them think that they're going to be getting something more than they are. But is that kind of where you're going with that in terms of ethics and morals?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I personally know a friend of a friend who is a lesbian, and she was on OnlyFans talking to this girl and giving her entire paychecks, and this model was promising her, oh yeah, we'll meet up, this weekend, and then she wouldn't show up. My friend would drive all the hell way out there, waste all of her gas money, and then continue to give her money, just like on a just hoping that. And she really honestly felt like she was in love with this woman, and it really turned my stomach. That's not, it's just so wrong on so many levels.
Yeah.
So interesting though that you say that, and that this is maybe going off a little on the side here is, so it was a lesbian. So this is not the stigma with OnlyFans is that it's a guy thing, guys only do it. So this is a lesbian female with a lesbian doing OnlyFans, or?
Yeah, at least she claims to be a lesbian on her OnlyFans.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so she might not even be lesbian. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Who knows?
Well, that's
I guess there's a niche for that.
It kind of puts me in mind because you see a lot of the stuff about the romance scammers too. The guys in Nigeria that act like all of a sudden they're some hot dude in the military, and they give them these elaborate stories, and they wind up taking people's paychecks too. So it's kind of the same thing, and you guys get lumped into that shit, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do my best to stand apart from I mean, as much as I can, I just try to be myself. And my OnlyFans is like full of jokes and like goofy humor and like just funny captions. And I'm like kind of a goofball at heart. You'll see like there's videos where I try to be serious and I end up just like cracking up anyway. It's just not like, I don't know. My goal is to be as real as possible without letting anybody know my actual identity for safety purposes. So that's
Absolutely.
kind of
Yeah.
where I'm at. Yeah.
Well, what I liked about your stuff, it was authentic. You know, a lot of the people that do the same content you do, they don't walk the walk. You know what I mean? They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. I've seen some other YouTubers that do smoking videos, and they're just not. They just don't seem realistic. You know, I won't say any names, but you know, there were a few that they like. One girl was talking about, you know, I'm just so addicted to cigarettes, and I'm like, something ain't right here, man. This shit ain't. This isn't authentic. You are authentic. That's what I think sets you apart from those people.
Well, thank you.
So, you know, but yeah, no, that's which is great. I mean, but let's take it back a little because you said you did it back in 2013. I think that's when I found one of your videos and I commented on it, and then you disappeared. Where did you go?
Yeah. So I made a YouTube video a couple months ago when I came back, kind of explaining a little bit, but I didn't really get into it. But I'll get into it more here. Basically, like I got married to a guy who not only wanted me to quit smoking, but quit
Oh no.
making fetish videos.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that ended up being kind of like this long-term thing. I ended up, finding like how, ways to make money lots of different ways after that. But yeah, I really regretted, of course I ditched that guy a long time ago, like
Sure
3 years ago. And I continued. I had become a truck driver at that point. And so actually for like about 7 years, the last 7 years. And so then it was pretty recently I got out of that horrible industry. I'm not,
Yeah.
that's another long story, but I just have such a long history with something that is so soul sucking. And then getting back into doing this is like a breath of fresh air again. And I just like, and it honestly like makes me feel like I'm kind of still back there in a way, like, 25 years old, doing this shit and just like doing it my way. Like this is my business, So,
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I married the wrong guy.
Well, and see, that's the thing too. Where I had an ex that was very controlling and possessive, and we were doing the radio show. Cruise Control remembers this all very well. And whenever we'd have female guests on or females call in the show, man, she would just completely flip the fuck out. And it's like, this is what I do. I mean, you got to accept this as part of the package. I do. Of course, I was doing it for fun, and you were doing your fetish videos for fun. But it's like, fuck off, buddy. This might pay the bills one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, imagine where I'd be if I'd kept at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you kept it rolling since 2013.
I'd probably be the longest standing smoking model, like that has been making content.
So when you got into this, did you think like, oh, like this is smoking models? So this has been a thing for a while. I mean, obviously people have fetishes, but this has been something that it's like it's interesting because it makes me just wonder, like people don't like there's like a niche industry for everything basically. There's smoking models. Is that what you call it, or is there actually a term for that actually is used?
I guess that's what we would say fetish models like back in the day. I'm making myself sound old by saying that, but I think now it's more like content creator is the verbiage, but
basically.
But I don't know. That sounds like a little too Gen Z for me. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it. It's funny though, just how small the community is, and you kind of get to know everybody. I don't know if you have gotten to know like a lot of other models, Max, but like we all know each other and we all talk about you guys.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Listen, you're the only person. I'm going to tell you this. If you look at my page and see you're the only person I'm following. I don't follow
Really?
anybody. Yeah, I don't follow anybody else. I'm not tripping off anybody else.
You're the only one. Oh no!
Hey,
Well, I'm
Watch
honored.
out! Watch yourself, Lace. You'll be getting. You'll be getting. You'll be spawning. Surveillance won't be cameras. It'll be bugs placed everywhere for the blind.
no, I don't do that stuff.
I know. I'm just joking.
but
Now
no,
he's
yeah,
like. Now you're like. Oh, I shouldn't have let Max know that there's other ones like you out there.
I'm calling the cops right now.
Max is going to become a smoking content whore.
smoking content stalker, like.
Yeah, he's going to be.
But I like how she says we all talk about you guys. Has my name's never come up. Well, I don't really, like I said, you're the only person I follow, so I don't really talk to anybody
No,
else.
I've never like actually had a conversation about you with anybody. But we do have like frequent flyers, as far as like bad actors or
Yes,
whatever.
you probably a network of support network. Like, hey, look out for this one. This guy or this gal is batshit. So we need to make sure that just from my perspective, keep an eye on that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a couple of women who are compiling a list right now. It's like short, but I've had some really, really crazy experiences, even just in the last few months with like guys hitting me up and just like scaring the shit out of me.
Man.
Do you mind telling a story?
Yeah, sure. The one that is most prevalent in my mind, this guy hits me up on OnlyFans and he just starts like raining money on me, just like $10. He'll send a message, send me $10, send a message, send me a $10 tip. And I'm not even like replying at this point. And I get on and I'm like, oh, cool. Like this guy wants to talk to me and it sounds like he wants to spend a lot of money. So like I'll talk to him and this text that he sent me was like very like manic sounding and stream of thought, didn't have any punctuation. It was just like really saying like you have no idea how much to get off on your videos, and then unprompted he sent me a video and I was like, oh no. I kind of have a feeling about what this is going to be. And sure enough, it was like him in a motel room, in the hallway of a motel room, like furiously jerking off and saying like, I've been watching your smoking for the last 10 years. And like,
Oh boy.
I'm gonna make you mine and like all this crazy shit. And he was like insisting on a cam session. And I just straight up blocked him. I was like, wow, that's gross.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a little bit of a block there. That'd be a good idea, probably.
Well, see, there you go again with the integrity. I mean, you could have just totally ran with that and been like, fuck this dude. I'm going to, he's going to pay my bills for the next couple months. But instead you said, nah, this isn't worth it. Yeah, we're blocking this guy. This isn't going to work.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people actually would have just said, fuck it, I'm going to, or at least taken the risk because, and maybe they're not thinking correctly. So there's got to be a lot of caution involved. The good thing is you don't have to worry about any kind of video shit from Max. If he tried to film his dick, he'd probably film like his belly button and miss it. So you wouldn't have to worry about it,
Well,
because he wouldn't knowing the kid. Oh shit! Never mind.
We did a little collabing. Let's just say that.
Oh well, I'll let that go then. Anyways, by the way, the weather out here has been extremely humid. So anyway,
I don't know. I guess
How
I do
about them Cowboys?
yeah.
I guess I do a decent job of filming. And
maybe it's just so fucking massive that you don't have to worry about it. You just point it in the direction and it just fucking there.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
That's something I'm glad I don't know about. Anyway,
hey, told you it was going to be spicy.
Trump, yeah. So Trump was shot at, by the way. Let's go.
Yeah, no, so that's the creepy. Well, I did see something you posted about a guy sending you a random dick pic or something like that one time.
Oh my God, yeah, that was another time. Well, there must have been a full moon or some shit because a whole bunch of crazy crap happened in one day. There was another dude who wanted to like sext a bunch, which I'm down with normally, but then he unsolicited sent me a photo of his. It's so hard to describe because I'm not even entirely sure what I was looking at, but it was like his dick and balls were like tied up with rubber bands.
Oh, probably to keep it hard. to keep the blood in it or
Wow,
something.
that's something I'm
in
glad I've never
his
had to worry about, I guess.
Well, that's
oh, you're not into that, Cruz?
Who needs fucking Viagra when you've got fucking rubber bands?
well,
You know?
wait, cruise control. You remember the guy we had on that had the band that you put around your dick or something like that? It's supposed to what was his name? Howard something, the virile geezer. Remember that guy?
Oh God. That guy. Yeah,
the sports
like
band?
yeah, the guy who was just talking about how much he I remember
How
that.
great his sex life is now that he had ED and he got this band and put it around his dick. That's what I'm thinking. When you saw the rubber band, I'm betting that's what he was doing, trying to keep the blood in the dick, because otherwise he'd lose his erection or something.
Oh, that's
It
not a
was
good.
actually it was wrapped around his balls, and then he had a cigarette between his balls, and he said, "I've got your new cigarette holder."
Didn't Pursuit of Happiness have a song called Cigarette Dangle?
I don't know,
I think they did.
and
I
I
think they
don't
did.
know, and
But
I'm happy not to know anything about that song at least. Shit.
So yeah,
That's just just thinking that's yeah, this I'm just trying to imagine it now. My mind is trying to imagine like a purple balls like wrapped up. It's like when you wrap your finger up in a rubber band too tight,
yes,
you know, and it turns all purple. I mean, more purple than usual. So, well,
that's some
yeah,
next level shit, I guess. Well, the other cool thing is, I found you on YouTube originally, obviously, as I was saying, and I like the fact too that you interact with your fans. Like you'll comment back or whatever. There's some people you'll comment on their stuff and they never respond back, and it's not like I'm looking for that with people, with anyone that I watch, because I have quite the diverse interest when it comes to my YouTube videos. But yeah, no, I think it's great that you actually interact with people and treat us like we're humans, you know?
right. I mean, when I first got into this, I was really shy, and I didn't know how to talk to people. It was like a
Uh,
little, just like yeah, I was like a little concerned about like how that would go, and because I knew that like once I opened Pandora's box, I would have to continue all these conversations with like a million people. And I was also doing so much other shit with my life, like go-go dancing, like doing other fetish modeling and all this. And now I really enjoy talking to people. Like I live in a van. I recently moved out of my house and started doing van life. And now I'm just like out in whatever part of the United States, like just hanging out with my dog. And I have like all the time in the world to like talk to my fans, which is super awesome.
that's
Getting
great.
to know people. And we have like actually like intellectual discussions. Like I was told yesterday, um, they were like, wow, I never expected to have a conversation like this on OnlyFans. We were talking about uh, certain movies and TV shows that have really dramatic cigarette smoking scenes and that like it romanticizes it, and then like the politics surrounding that, like
Hmm,
things like that. I don't know. I just love this shit.
that's cool. Well, and we posed this question before on I think one of our past shows about, and Cruise Control and I are kind of the mindset of we would never want to do what we love as a job, because then it turns a hobby into a chore or work or whatever. But obviously you're kind of the other way around on that, huh?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess I should have learned my lesson with truck driving, right? Like I absolutely love driving. I've always loved road trips, and then I made it my job, and then the whole thing completely imploded. Like so I think the key is only doing it like 3 days a week. If
Hmm,
you can get away with only working 3 days a week and not like the entire week long, like, when you own your own business, you
right,
can end up working 100 hours a week just to keep it afloat.
right.
Yeah,
So I,
definitely.
I think it's important to like, if you want to continue to love it, just don't do it all the fucking time. Like switch it up, diversify your hobbies and your work,
Yeah, if you
That's
keep it
can,
fresh.
especially, and that's the great thing about all the technology that you're able to actually do that. The influencers or just working from home or being able to kind of and the whole 9 to 5 career mentality is such bullshit. Everyone knows that's kind of falling apart, especially with AI and everything else going on. So the ability, especially with like if you use either Space Link or any other kind of internet activity, you can pretty much go anywhere and be connected at any time. Like you can do all your shit in your van and sitting van down by the river, literally down by the river.
That's funny because that's
you can go take a swim, come back, do your shit, go out, then go drive to another place and do that. But then you can also just say, you know what, this is kind of freaking me out. Like you said, I need to just take a moment and take a break. And not make this my like not put all your eggs in one basket, because then it becomes a pressure thing, and then you're basically like, oh, I've got to get this video done. Oh, fuck, God damn it. I've got to get all these done. I'm in this kind of place. So it's kind of cool that you can kind of set your own boundaries in that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going back to the truck driving thing, because you did tell me at one point you actually owned your own trucking company.
Yeah, so that lasted 2 years before I just completely got sick of it. Yeah, I started out, I want to say for the first 3 years, I worked for other people, but I was like, I owned my truck, but I was working for other people. And then on year 4, I went completely independent. I did all my own dispatching, customer service, like pretty much everything under the sun, all the bookkeeping, all the accounting. Like
So
I was
wore
like a
all those hats.
one person show. Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, and I owned like shit, $160,000 worth of equipment at 32 years old.
Damn.
Just all me, like no help. And that's
Whoa.
essentially what made it go to shit, was I had absolutely no help. And this was like slightly after COVID / during COVID. It was just kind of a mess. I did really well too. Like it was profitable both years. I just like my mental health was suffering, and I knew that I needed to like get off the road for a while. Because I was like working 100 hours a week. I was like, this will kill me if I don't switch it up. So
yeah.
I'm much happier now. But it was a trip.
That was a full-time job too, I guess. I mean, like you said, 100 hours a week. Holy shit.
It was like 3 full-time jobs.
Whoa, damn.
Oh, I bet. Well, owning a business, especially now when it's even harder to do that. Anyways, owning a business is a fucking pain in the ass. But depending on what it is, obviously. But speaking of, so you transitioned from that over to OnlyFans. Did you have any reservations before deciding to start OnlyFans, or was it just something like a natural progression of the things you've done before?
That's a really good question. Let me think. Yeah, reservations. Sort of. I think, when I was driving truck, I didn't I was really low maintenance with like my appearance. And because I'm not like seeing anybody. I can just hop in the truck. No one gives a shit what you look like.
Right.
Yeah.
But with this, I have to like wake up in the morning and put makeup on and like put on like fishnets and corsets, and I'm about to start buying wigs and things like that. And it's just like a completely different lifestyle than I had before. And I was like, do I really want to put myself through this where I'm just like going to be paying all this attention to grooming?
Except when you're doing videos for me.
Actually, that is actually an interesting question.
Because I had you do one where you woke up. Remember? That was your.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I had like drool on my face, and I was had sleep in my eyes when I made that video for you, but you'll never know.
That video is like one of my most Jackum videos. Anyway.
So yeah. This is we're interviewing her, Max. So
I know. I'm just trying to pump her up, let her know, let people know, man. But get her for a custom.
Well, I'm curious though, like were there any actually let me start with the question that kind of came from Max. Is Max the first blind person you've ever done this before, or someone with other that kind of disability where you don't have to worry about? Did you have to adjust your mindset, like, wait, why the fuck am I getting dressed up for this shit? I don't have to worry about this at this point. Or was it like, is it how has that experience been for you doing that for a blind person?
Yeah, so Max is the only one as far as I know. And it's been awesome, honestly, because I've had to transition from how do I look, to like how do I sound.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that is the most important thing, is like microphone positioning, the things that I say, the way that I say them, um, having props that I use and like how those are going to be picked up by the microphone, and then adjusting all of the sound levels.
Oh.
So I've learned quite a lot about all of that stuff, to like, yeah, just to make a good video for him. And his input has been incredible. Like, he gives me like really honest input after every video I make, and then I feel like everyone's getting better and better. So it's been like a super awesome learning experience that has helped me like doing videos for anybody else
Anybody,
as well.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because now that you're focusing on that one aspect that you may not necessarily neglected before, but may not have taken a focus on, now it's something that you're maybe just added to your repertoire automatically, and people might go, wow, there's something different about Smokey. There's something different about Lace. How she just makes people feel more into it or something like that. So it's almost like you're like kung fu master. Now you've mastered the art of the voice. Like, oh,
The vocal art. Well,
yeah, the
she's never
vocal
had a
art.
problem with vocal art, to me at least. So,
Awesome.
I even told her too. I was like, I dig your voice. You got to talk in your videos. So, that's a big thing.
I'm curious though, like, so getting into this, like, OnlyFans, there's a lot of stigma going on with it, and I think a lot of it is well deserved. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of, like you've mentioned before, people being dishonest or taking advantage of people. But what was your biggest like surprise or about getting involved with it? Like that you thought, oh, I didn't expect this to be the case. You expected maybe one thing and got the other. Like, what are your biggest surprises about it, about getting into it?
Oh my gosh. I think one of the big ones is that the community is so incredible. Like, other girls have reached out to me just being like, hey, let's do cross promotion. Like, one of the big things is that we pump each other up. We don't compete against each other. And so we will, like, make a story on Instagram. Like, most of the stuff that I do is on Instagram, honestly. And so I'll like share, like smoking Vexy, for example, like on my Instagram, to make sure that everyone goes to her page. She'll do the same for me. And then, people give me advice, because I was like the new girl coming in, and I've just got like, I wasn't expecting to like get to know these women. And now I'm just like, oh, there's like pictures of your kids, and I'm sending photos of my dog. And I feel like there's people who are actually my friends now. So from like a an industry that is so sexual, we've like, found a way like not to talk about that and to like talk about real shit, which is great.
That's cool.
Cool.
That's actually
Awesome.
really cool. And you got to have that. You can't just be all the time sex this, suck that, and do whatever.
Yeah. Contrary to popular belief, we don't all just like sit around our bedrooms in like heels and lingerie just going, oh yeah, you want to fuck? Like, like, we have like very complex, like, wonderful lives outside of this shit. And we're real people,
Well,
Yeah.
it's just a service. If you want to break it down to the basic bare bones of it, is you're providing a service for people. And like I said, and it's a matter of ethics, just like any other service. People can dick you over in any other way or take advantage of you in any kind of situation. So you can get the wool pulled over your eyes in any kind of business or any kind of transaction. So it's not like you're doing, people just don't like it because it has to do with sex and it has to do with oh my gosh, you're exposing yourself, or you're doing this for somebody else, then they'll go watch porn. And it's like, okay. Yeah.
right.
Well, even porn. See, this is what the other thing I like is how it's so organic, what you got going on there. Porn is kind of robotic to me yet. It's just like, oh yeah, okay, two people supposedly fucking, it's not real. Whereas, with you, it's just like, oh, I'm waking up, God, I need a cigarette, that kind of, it's just like, oh, just little innocent shit.
It's
You know what I mean?
It's playing to your specific needs, but also being honest about it, which is pretty interesting, actually.
So when I think of pornography, it's usually two people who just met that day. right? And
Yeah.
so you're not seeing the chemistry between the two of those people, and it's gonna seem really fake. Um, that's why when I make videos, I love making them for particular people that I've gotten to know, because then I know like what buttons to push, what turns them on, how to talk to them, like to say their name in the video. I want the person to feel like they're right in bed next to me, and to like have that like intimacy that feels real. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the kind of stuff I like to make because it's so important. I don't know. That's how I would want to feel if I was interested in somebody, is that they're in my
Mhm.
house.
Right, right. Like up close and personal. It's not just, this stage thing. And some of the acting in porno is pretty bad too.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's awful, but it's also dangerous in other ways, a lot more ways, because you're two consenting adults. You're doing what you want to do. Basically, you understand your what's going on there, the relationship, the dynamics of it. But with porn, it's literally an instinctive kind of thing in your head where anytime someone watches porn, they basically see when they see a new person that they're with, their mind treats it like they're actually with that person. So you get that dot. That's why it changes your mind so much. And
Right.
also, especially with being able to with exposing young people to porn and stuff like that.
Mm.
Although I don't think there's anything wrong with it, because I think it's kind of ridiculous that that prostitution's illegal, but you can film people screwing and you can pay them for it. Like,
Right.
doesn't
Right.
make any sense to me. But anyway, I
Yeah.
digress.
Yeah. Legalize all of it. That's my hot take. But yeah, when I end up making actual porn, which hopefully next month I'm gonna like actually start filming some stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm only gonna do it between myself and friends of mine, whether that's girls, guys, whatever. They're gonna be people that I know and trust, and that
Right.
way, like our connection exudes off of us in the video, so that it's all real. Like I would never hire somebody to like come fuck me on a video, you know,
Yeah.
while I smoke a cigarette. That just doesn't. It doesn't seem like fun to me, and I don't think it would come off as fun to anybody else.
Right. Well, that's you you had something, you put up something where you're looking for an ashtray slave. Would this actually be somebody real that like are you actually hoping that somebody hits you up with that, or what's the deal with that?
You know, that is the dream. But no, so I do cam sessions. Well, I'm trying to get into a place where I have consistently good reception, where I can do live cam sessions like on Zoom or whatever.
Ah,
That would be ideal. But until then, I do photo, short video, and sexting conversations where I basically just role play domination.
ah.
So it's all over the internet. Yeah, I don't actually have plans right now to meet anybody in person.
That's what I was wondering about that, because you did say you didn't want anyone really knowing where you are for your own safety.
Absolutely.
So I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, wait, are you waiting for some weirdo to I'll be your ashtray slave, and then all of a sudden you meet up with the guy and he's a fucking nut. You know what I mean?
Right, that would be something that I would need security for.
Yeah.
I
Right.
don't trust, meeting people like that in person. But hey, if you bring a guy that can watch your back, I mean, that's usually how people do it.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's the line that's definitely a line that that you have to be careful of. I think that's probably the most important thing, or it would seem to me to be the most challenging thing, is making sure, because let's be honest, when you're dealing with sex, and when you're dealing with these kind of things, relationships, or just meeting people and talking about these kind of intimate things, it can breed attachment, and it can breed the wrong ideas, like you mentioned before. And even if someone says, yeah, I totally understand that this is just what it is, they might think, well, I'm the one, I'm the guy who's gonna finally, like, it's what's that, I'm the guy who's gonna I'm the difference maker. So it seems like it'd be really hard to get that balance, and to kind of get that right balance, and not have it turn into some kind of disaster. So you probably have to have that cut and dry, like, attitude, I would assume, right?
Yeah, that is my goal, to be straight up with people. Um, But yeah, I hope that doesn't get me in trouble because, you know, people might see that as rejection.
Mm,
But at the same time, um, I don't know. I'm not out to hurt anybody's feelings, but I also don't want to lead anybody on, right?
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's another question. Have you had any, like what Cruise Control was talking about? Anybody trying to give marriage proposals or any strange shit?
I mean, I've had a lot of people say things like, "Oh my God, marry me," but I haven't seen a ring yet. So,
Well,
um,
I'm sure, because there's got to be somebody out there that's like, hey, if you move in with me and you do this and we get married and I can, like Cruise Control said, I'm the difference maker guy. I'm different.
On a difference maker.
yeah, there was one guy who lives in Europe and was like, "Hey, like I'm rich, I'll buy you a plane ticket right now. So you're American, right? Do you have any guns?" Like that was like his major concern is that I would
Show up with a
like
gun.
all Americans have guns, right? I didn't even entertain that shit. I'm like, you know, I've only been doing this again for 3 months, so there's still time.
Right. Exactly.
Still time for all the
For the
interesting shit to happen.
Yeah,
who knows
sure.
what'll happen in this, like you don't even know where it's going really, right?
Not really. The best thing I can do is just like keep increasing my quality, like keep taking more clothes off with every video, honestly, because I'm gonna start doing like a lot more nude stuff, which I was like a little like reserved about before. Um, I want to, like do a lot more like sexual type stuff. The more I like kind of like dip my toe in the water, the more comfortable I get with this because I'm not like a porn star. I've never
Right.
I've never done that. Like I was a truck driver, you know. So, but I do want to do that. I think that it's like all about the freedom of sexuality and the fact that I'm also the producer and yeah, it's like super empowering. Um so just continuing to keep getting better and better all the time is my goal.
That's that's awesome. Well, you have
Better
a
and nakeder.
more naked. Well, you have a an announcement to make about your OnlyFans. What's going on with it?
I do. Okay, so the last few months it's been like a free account, and then I would post videos that were pay-per-view, which means, oh, you pay like $10 here and you get like a 1 to 5 minute video of me like naked or masturbating or smoking a cigarette, whatever. And now I'm transitioning, like as of tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time, my site is becoming a subscription site, which means that all you have to pay is $10 a month, and that's it.
Nice. And
And
that's
you
it.
get
You watch all
access to
videos.
like tons and tons of stuff. Yeah, you get to see all of the stuff that I have already made, plus like weekly, like new stuff getting posted all the time. And like I said, it's gonna get, crazier and sexier as time goes on. So yeah, it's gonna be a great deal. And I hope to like attract a bunch of new people like that and really get this ball rolling.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, matter of fact,
Yeah,
why don't we go ahead and we'll wrap this up here and get it. Let's get
Get
all the
all your
information so that
contact.
people can figure out what if they're interested in getting in touch with you.
totally. Yeah, it's just Smoking Lace on everything. I've got locked down on that name. So Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans, and Reddit. Yep,
Oh, you have a
that's
Reddit
it.
too.
I
Okay.
do.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Nice. And yes, folks, I will be subscribing. Just so you know.
No, you don't say.
So,
What?
hell yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Anyway,
Awesome.
well, this has been great, Lace. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with our loser asses.
Oh shit, man. We're all just people, man, making our
I
way.
know I'm just fucking around, but yeah, no, this is great. I'm glad you were able to take the time and to do this for us. And yeah, I hope you go out and get a whole bunch of new fans, and the ones that are already subscribed to you, hopefully will stay on as well.
Yeah, no, you guys are so awesome. Thanks for having me on the show. I really hope that my fans stick around, but if they don't, I'm more than happy to just like hang out with people on Instagram and stuff. So
Don't go to
yeah, I
Instagram.
appreciate you guys so much.
Absolutely.
Well, thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Yeah, you have a great evening, have a great weekend, and like I said, it's Smoking Lace at OnlyFans. We'll throw a link in there if we can.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put all the links in the
And,
description.
And yeah, we'll wrap this thing. It's been a Nothing Sacred interview with Smoking Lace. I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And that's the story there,
bitches. See ya.
We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred.
With Maxwell Silverhammer.
We are nothing sacred. With cruise control. We are nothing sacred.